Hi, welcome to the third Soccer Dad video. Soccer Dad is an iPhone app for soccer coaches. What I wanted to go through with you in this video is actually the setting up of a game to be played during your season. So here are my teams. The team that I'm focusing on today, the Blue Sharks. In the last video I actually started to set up my practice schedule for the fall season, and here we go. We've got two teams that I'm coaching, the Blue Sharks and the Red Fireballs. So what I want to do now is add my first game for the Blue Sharks. So game is selected by default, it's for Blue Sharks, and again, if you've watched the last video, it's a simple matter to set up the event. Okay, so Blue Sharks versus the orange team, and these guys are playing on Saturday, and at 10 AM. Again, for games I don't really like to use recurring events. My games tend to vary by time, so I set them up individually. I can use alerts, again, to be alerted 30 minutes before the game starts. Again, as with the practice, I have the option of adding a volunteer. And this can be somebody from your address book, some existing person from your address book, or it can be somebody that you add as a new person, a new contact. One of the other useful things I've found is before all our games we have a 15-minute practice, and often this is one of the most useful things in terms of reinforcing something right before the game, especially for the younger players. So this allows me to keep track of it and to do different things each week. So it can be as simple as corners for 10 minutes, just to make sure they know what they're doing before we start the game. The fields that are unique to games that you don't see for practices are this set of fields here. First thing I can specify is who I'm playing against. Again, I can assign them a color, and this will help me during the game because certain buttons and things like that will be colored for the orange team versus my team. So again, it's easy to figure out whether you're doing the right thing. Game format. So this is how many players you're going to have on each side. Okay, I'm going to leave it as 6v6. Formation here. This is the standard notation for soccer formations. So it assumes a goalkeeper, and then you specify in each segment from your defense to your offense. So in this case I have no midfield, I just have 3 defenders and 2 forwards. Next is the game time. So this is the total playing time for the game. 10 minutes all the way up through 90 minutes. And for my example, I'm actually going to set it as 10 minutes, just so I get my rotations happening rapidly. How many minutes for half time? And then finally, how many rotations are you going to do? And in my situation, I typically have a lot of players, young players, and I want to make sure that they're not sitting on the sidelines too long. So I like to do a lot of rotations, and the trick to that is managing who comes on with each rotation so that the playing time is split evenly, and what position they play each time they rotate. So the great thing about Soccer Dad is it'll manage all of that for me. Now, if you're a coach who is more traditional, maybe some older players, and you want to manage all the substitutions yourself, you can say no rotations, and then Soccer Dad will allow you to do your own rotations. Okay. Obviously for a 10-minute game you wouldn't have 8 rotations, but this is just for example. And now I've set up my first game, and it's just a simple process of repeating that for the other games in your season. Alright, that's all I wanted to show you for this video. Again, more details can be found at soccerdadapp.com.